Welcome to video 8.5F, a proof using the angle bisector theorem. So here's example 5. I'll mark it up as we go. So AC is perpendicular to BE. So just to let you know, I'm going to mark that as a right angle, and I'm going to mark that as a right angle. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Prove that BD over BF equals DE over EF. All right, well, one thing I noticed right away, if these are right angles, the big angles are congruent. If these small chunks are congruent, then that means these chunks over here are congruent. So right away, I'm going to have an angle bisector. Oh, so right when I think of that, let's think of the proportion. Remember I said left with left, right with right? So by doing that, I would get BD over DE, and that would equal BF over EF. Let's see what I was trying to prove. It looks like it's almost the same thing. Notice the diagonals are the same. BD and EF, BD and EF. This just has the ordering switched, so it's the same diagonals. So I'm pretty much good to go. I have a game plan. I'll do the angle bisector theorem. I'll get to that. I'll write this proportion, and then I'll just do the means extremes theorems, which says you can rewrite that proportion. Okay, so let me start off. I've got to get these angles congruent. I'll start with these statements right here. So I've got AC is perpendicular to BE. That was given. Based on that, I can say angle ABE and angle CBE are right angles. If perp, then right, then I'll get them congruent. Angle ABE is congruent to angle CBE. If right angles, then congruent. Then I'm going to state this. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. That was given. So I've got a big angle congruent to a big angle, and then a small piece and a small piece. I could do angle subtraction. If congruent angles are subtracted from congruent angles, then the differences are congruent. Remember that from the early days. All right, so now I can say angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. That would be angle subtraction. And then once I've got angle 2 congruent to angle 3, I could go ahead and use that angle bisector theorem. I'll also state with angle 2, I've got, I'll say BE. I'll just make it a new step. BE bisects angle DBF. If two congruent angles, then angle bisector. That's going to allow me to use the angle bisector theorem. So now I'm going to say DB over DE equals BF over EF. So that's going to be the angle bisector theorem. And then I'll add one more step, 8 and 8. I'm just going to change it to exactly how they wanted it. BD over BF equals DE over EF. And that's going to be the means extremes theorem. So there you have it, how to use the angle bisector theorem in a proof.